welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a part 2 of my top 3 terrible 3, and this is with palettes. Like I said in my last video that I was going to do a 2-parter. The first parter was going to be the high end, second is Drugstore. So if you would like to see my top and bottom, or top and terrible of the Drugstore palettes, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my bad palettes. Now, they're not technically all bad, but there's one thing or another I really did not like about these. And like I also said in my first part of this was the hardest video I've done. I honestly thought that it was going to be easy to pick them out. Once you start swatching up your arms and everything else, trying to find something, it was hard. I'm not going to lie. But the first one I'm going to mention is the Wet n Wild Studio Eyeshadow Palette. And this one is in Coming in Latte, and it looks like this. Also has a rosy one as well. I haven't tried that one out. My thing is, I love the shades in here. The issue I have is that they don't last long on my eyes. Some shades are patchy. Some shades just don't show up. But the shimmery shades are impeccable. I mean, look at that. I mean, there's not one part of my hand you can't tell that has shadow on there. They do have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, unless that's an overspray. 4 shades of mattes in here. You have the first one, this mid-tone brown. You have the medium dark brown. Go away. And then you have this black here. Oops. That black really isn't that patchy. It is a little patchy, but that's just because it went over my knuckle. But, yeah. They're very patchy. Some don't show up. Some just don't last. So, yeah. Yeah. It was a downer because I love the shades in there. Next palette, I've talked about this one over and over that I didn't like it. And this hurts because I love Maybelline. This is the Maybelline The Rock Nudes palette. I was hoping I was going to get a nice grungy look out of this palette. I mean, there's a lot of dark shades. But yet, no, that honestly did not work whatsoever. Every time I tried to do a look, it ended up patchy, muddy. I mean, it was just bad. Let's see. And some don't even show. I mean, look, you can barely see these 2 mid shades here. I don't know. It always looked muddy. I tried so hard. I was even going to a rock concert trying to make this work, and needless to say, it didn't. I mean, look, they're patchy. So, yeah, that's a no-go. My last one I have in here, this one I was definitely nitpicking with. This is the L'Oreal La Palette Nude Tude. So this is the Nude Tude. Can you tell I'm thinking about the bomb? This is the La Palette Nude 2. I don't know if you guys can really see them. But anyway, this is the plums that they came out with. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to love these. You know, L'Oreal shadows are amazing. And yeah, no. I love the fact that the sizes of these are really, really big. They almost look like Lancome's palettes. I really actually like these a lot. But, you know, the shadows are very pigmented, very buttery, but they are patchy. I mean, look at the pigmentation on my hand, or my fingers, and then look. They're patchy. Some you can barely even tell, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You could really use those as a transition shade. But, you know, they're patchy. I was hoping these were going to be really, really good. And I've noticed these are the palettes that are like, you love them or you hate them kind of thing. And yeah, I don't know. Let's see. And we'll get this darker brown. I mean, they're pretty shades if they weren't patchy. So yeah, there's that one. All right, moving on. Now I'm talking about the top at the drugstore. Now, one is drugstore price, but it's not at the drugstore. I'm going to start with, or I'm going to leave that one to last. First one that's actually at the drugstore. This is the Wet n Wild Drinking a Glass of Shine palette. This is an all matte palette, and I definitely plan on trying to make a couple looks work with these shades here. I'm usually these 3 right here. Absolutely love these shades. These 2 right here are great transition shades, especially if you're light. Like, they're great. Then you got this pretty green, this blue that's absolutely gorgeous, And then this purple. Look at those, guys. I mean, what's wrong with that? Like, that's just an amazing palette. That needs no introduction, if you know what I mean. The next one, I had its counterpart in my terrible set here. This is the L'Oreal Palette Nude 1. Absolutely love these. These are also a little patchy, but nothing compared to the purple. And these, like I said, they look like the Lancome ones. And I love the shades. They're pigmented, buttery, and they do last quite a while. Let's see. Look at these. So pretty. I mean, you can't beat it if you like neutrals. That is definitely a palette. This one, it is drugstore price. It's definitely on the higher end of drugstore, but I really love this palette. And this is the Coastal Scents Revealed 1 palette. I really like this palette. I mean, look at the shades. I mean, this row right here definitely looks like the Naked one. I'm not gonna lie. Even it looks like the Lorac. I even did a comparison video on those 3. I'll link it in one of the things above. But I love these shades. I even used that shade, the shade here, on my lid today, making a look, and it's just so pretty. I mean, you can't beat those. They are a little powdery. They do kick up a little bit, but they're so nice. I mean, even the darker shades. I mean, look at that. Let me see. Do I have another darker? We'll go for brown. Let's try this one. I mean, look at those. Look at that. I mean, you can't. Let me see. Makeup wipes getting in my way. But you can't beat those. And I do believe the palette is still going for $19.99. Like I said, higher end of drugstore, but it's still technically drugstore. So that is my drugstore version of my palettes. I hope you did enjoy this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. I hope you subscribed. That would make my day. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.